So, freshman year, I always rode my bike to school because I only live like 3 or 4 blocks away.
That and remember, no one's able to drive a car.
Yeah, freshman.
Well,
yeah.
sure, but like as opposed to walking, I rode a bike.
Yeah.
And at least in freshman year, I lived on the other side of the school, so Sean also knew which route I was taking.
Yeah.
So one day, instead of taking the normal route, where I go down a gravel path past the school, and then ride my bike all the way up to the main street, and then ride towards Main Street, towards the school, I decided to take a shortcut, cut to the right a block earlier, and then go down a path and cross the street at not the busy intersection, but at a intersection that didn't have a crosswalk, but was slightly less busy.
Yeah.
Because I thought I had a better chance of not having to wait for 17 cars to pass.
Yeah.
So, I, at the time, also like to fuck around with the gear shift on my bike, because I figured out when you're going uphill, if you shift to a lower gear, it's easier to maintain than trying to pump it on gear 8 the entire time. So, I was in 3rd gear, which pretty slow on flat land. And I was going up, and I didn't look both ways because I thought surely if there are no cars here now, there's not going to be cars here in 2 seconds.
Right, yeah.
And I start crossing, and I get fucking blasted by a car. And I skid probably like a good 10 feet. Now, I always wore a hoodie. So I was the equivalent of wearing leather on a fucking motorcycle. So I didn't get any bruising. But the guy thoroughly ran my bike over.
Oh my god.
Like he stopped on top of the bike. Now me being fat,
fence wheel.
me being fat and in a hoodie, just stood up.
Wasn't phased.
Wasn't phased. Didn't have a helmet on either. Just stood up, looked at the guy, and just started walking towards the car. And I remember the look on this guy's face. It looked like he just saw a fucking Terminator robot get up off the sidewalk. He's shitting himself. Am I in trouble for hitting this kid? Am I going to die?
It's like the boomer zombie.
T-800. And I remember this kid shaking, and I think even his like mom was in the passenger seat. And he's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Dude, it's fine. Could you like back off my bike here on top of it?" And the guy's like, "Oh, sure." And he fucking backs off, and I'm like, "All right, thanks. Sorry about the car," because I actually damaged his headlight. But I wasn't gonna be over here like, "Oh yeah, let's bust out insurance." Like, nope. Have a good day. You hit me. It's undisputed. You're fixing your own fucking headlight. I'm sure you have no issues just forgetting about this event later. So here I am with my wheel bent fucking 90 degrees.
Oh my god.
And I just start walking to school. And this lady in slippers and a fucking muumuu comes running out screaming like, "Oh, I saw the whole thing. You know, are you okay? Oh my god, I called 911. I'm just like, I just remember being like, "Yeah, I'm fine. You know, I just need to get to school. You know, if I'm late, I'm going to get detention." And then, since the high school is literally right next to a fucking fire
It's
station.
literally-
Yeah.
It's literally a
I
block
s-
away.
I wouldn't even say a block, my
It's
dude.
literally
I would say it's
across the
across
street.
the street.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
It's on
literally,
the other side of the
it's
street.
literally like there.
Yeah, from the
And
front of
somehow
the
the
school,
school
yeah.
doesn't see anything that's
And
going
I
on.
remember, dead ass, just deadpan, I saw the ambulance pull out of the fire station, drive
the
to
street.
20 feet down to me, and then
Fire
stop.
station's on the same street.
I remember just seeing this, and I'm thinking, really?
That's
Like,
great.
really, guys?
I can only imagine from your perspective how ridiculous this whole thing must have seemed. Like,
It was! Like, yeah,
Like,
okay,
if
I got
you
hit by a
walk-
car. It was,
you could walk that distance.
like, this was the equivalent of being pushed down really hard. You know,
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm a little sore, I guess, in my shoulder because I landed on it going 10 miles an hour. But at the same time, like, I'm fine. I just want to go to school, man. So the fucking... They drive slightly past me, bust out the back doors like they're fucking Avengers. And they bring me in there. And they start taking my blood pressure. They start looking at my eyes. They start looking at my heart rate.
This had to be the most exciting part of the entire day.
Yeah, probably. Well,
Right, nothing happens
being
in
in the
fucking
morning,
Batavia.
yeah.
Depending on which shift it was either, all right, let's get going, and fuck, right before I leave.
Yeah.
And I can see what they're writing down. And I remember them writing down, like, disoriented, confused, might have concussion. And I'm just looking at this and I'm like, fuck you, man. It's the morning. Of course I'm disoriented. I woke up 40 minutes ago.
This is the normal human condition.
I'm still in bed in my brain.
Yeah.
This is the normal human condition for just waking up and having to get ready for school 3 hours earlier than what should be the norm.
Right?
Twins.
And like, oh, the heart rate was high. And it's like, yeah, I have fucking high blood pressure. It runs in the family. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. I'm normal, guys.
Were you late to school for that?
I was.
Yeah, because they had to go through so I could fuffle with the ambulance.
I walked to school. I walked through the main office. And I remember the lady was like, "Oh, you know, since you're late, I have to give you a detention pass." And I'm like, "Whatever." Fucking, I'm not even gonna explain what happened. Whatever. And I get the pass. I go in. And, you know, it's only been like 2 or 3 minutes. I walk in. The teacher kind of gives you that side eye, like,
Yeah.
eh. But it's not late enough for them to really be like, "Ugh." You know, it's just like, maybe you're just in the bathroom or something. I don't know. Taking a morning shit.
The good ones. Good old.
Yeah, you don't take those at school.
Yeah, no.
And I remember I went through the school day. It was actually a pretty good day. All things considered, didn't get any like homework. Work wasn't really all that hard. And I remember during second block going up to the teacher because I think it was study hall or something, or I had some type of free time.
Oh, I got a story from study hall.
And I remember going up to the teacher and I'm like, "Hey, do you know where I could go and talk to someone about this pass? Because the only reason I was late is because I was hit by a car." And the teacher at the time was like, "You what?"
You what?
Like, yeah, you know, I was just hit by a car. And I don't think I should get detention for that, necessarily. I remember the conversation, me walking into, like, the vice principal's office, and pretty much saying, "Yeah, so I got this slip that says I have detention, but, I was late because I was hit by a car this morning." And the principal was basically like, "That was you?" Like, "Yeah, that was me." "Oh, okay, yeah, we won't need you in detention then." Like, yeah, you better fucking not, because I'm not coming.
Oh my god.
I don't care if you waive this or not. This is me saying I'm not showing up. Fight me.
Oh, shit.
If I was in that spot, I would not, because seeing as someone just survived a car impact, I would not take any chances fighting.
Yeah.
And then I remember going to lunch. That's when me and Sean shared a lunch break. And I remember you were like, hey, did you see that crazy shit this morning? There was an ambulance. And I'm like, yeah, that was me.
Oh, shit.
Second time, a few years later, I was riding to the other entrance. And this time,
Back entrance.
well, since I lived on the other side of the school, I went from the other side. I was riding my bike. I was approaching the intersection right before the parking lot to the school. And just riding my bike, I see a Jeep. Not like a Wrangler Jeep where it's like the fucking open top and everything.
Nah.
But like the Jeep SUV type Jeep.
Like the one from Blockland. But
Yeah, not the one from Blockland type Jeep. Like, and I see them. They see me. I make eye contact with them, basically. And being on the sidewalk, using the crosswalks, I think, okay, they see me. They're still approaching the stop sign. I'm basically 2 feet from the stop sign. I get the right of way. So I continue forward. And this Jeep, as if fucking driven by a hitman,
I'm imagining this
just
going
plows through the fucking stop sign. Like he did a fucking California stop where he slowed down to like 2 miles an hour and then gunned it.
I'm just imagining this go down with Kill Bill music.
Fucking clips my front wheel. I swerve out the way. It doesn't damage my bike this time, but I still fall over sideways into the grass. And this Jeep just speeds off. Like he didn't just fucking hit me.
Stop.
Oh, dick.
No, he didn't stop.
Wow.
That could have been
So,
right now.
seeing as I had matured since freshman year, I decided to say, fuck it, I'm going home. And I drove, I rode my bike all the way home. And when I got back home, my mom was like, what are you doing home? And I just said, got hit by another car and decided today's not my day. And I just stayed home.
Oh, that's awesome.
I remember my mom like called the cops to like, because it was a hit and run basically.
Yeah.
And the cop was like, so like, what was the vehicle? I'm like, well, it was like a dark colored, maybe black Jeep, but not like the open top Wrangler type Jeep, like an SUV. Hit me on this side of the bike, and then I drove away. And then I rode home. And he like didn't believe me. He's like, so you were hit on that side of the bike? Why isn't the bike broken?
Oh my lord.
Like, I don't fucking know. Do I look like a physicist? Do I look like I know how the exchange of energy happened from car to bike wheel?
I'm a high schooler.
Like, dude, I fell over off my bike after being clipped by a car, and I decided to come home. Well, you gonna arrest me for hooky?
Where the hell is his like?
Like, are these white trims? No,
The white
oh,
trim?
okay, so
wooden
these
trims?
might be.
Yeah.
They could be these things. The
I
things
did
trimming
those
the
ones.
windows.
There was one up there that I did. Yeah. Anyways.
Did that guy ever get any film?
No, I never heard anything else about it. I just never really fucking heard anything about it. I just went on my way. No property was damaged. I don't care if his property was damaged.
Yeah.